U.S. consumer prices increased as expected in October amid higher costs for shelter, such as rents. Progress towards low inflation has slowed in recent months, which could result in a fewer interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve next year. But don't worry, you guys. According to the Biden administration, we're just in a transition phase. Yeah, no, nothing's changed. Oh, no, nothing's changed. So check this out. Progress lowering U.S. inflation stalling, rate cut path in 2025 uncertain. Well, you're going to have somebody different in the Oval Office, thank the Lord. But U.S. consumer prices increased as expected in October amid higher costs for shelter such as rents, and progress towards low inflation has slowed in recent months, which would result in fewer interest rate cuts. Meaning people aren't going to exactly go and buy high ticket items or finance those high ticket items because it's too expensive. Check this out. The report from the Labor Department on Wednesday, which also showed underlying inflation continuing. How's Biden going to sit there and blame somebody else for that one? To run a little warmer last month did not change expectations that the U.S. Central Bank would deliver a third rate cut in December. Progress on inflation has started to stall. The time is fast approaching when the Fed will signal that the pace of rate cuts will slow further, perhaps to every other meeting pace starting in 2025. Thank you, Joey. Thank you. So, we got more though. You might think, okay, well, inflation is kind of stalling, which I guess is a good thing. It's like not getting worse, but it's also not getting better. We want it to get better. But, your prices of things have still gone up. And they've been blaming everybody and everything other than themselves, meaning their messaging, their policies, using the EPA, going after people, increasing taxes. And what I mean by that is, well, the price of everything has gone up. So in a way, your taxes have increased, whether it's sales tax or something else, because the price of that good has gone up, meaning you're owing more through that tax. Now, I said the EPA for a reason. I said taxes for a reason. Well, we have this here. Biden imposes a what? Oh, shit. He's giving us a parting gift. And by gift, it's a middle finger is what he's doing. Imposes a new methane emissions tax as he prepares to leave the White House. What's one last thing I could do on my deathbed to really fuck over these Americans? President Biden's EPA finalized a new rule Tuesday taxing methane emissions from the oil and gas sector. Oh, goody. Oh, goody. Hold on. Boop. Time out. Hey, Joe, didn't we just get done saying that things are increasing in price again? And that you haven't been able to figure it out in 3.5 years, 3/4 of a year left remaining, or we've gone into, you got 1 quarter left, however you want to phrase it, doesn't matter. Joe, what are you doing? So guess what? Everything is going to get more expensive. How can I make things more worse for Americans? How about you stop taxing everybody, Joe? Please? So that's happening. Check this out. The new tax was born out of the Biden sweeping climate legislation passed by Congress, because there are a bunch of idiots up there, known as the Inflation Reduction Act. Remember how we said early on years ago that this wouldn't actually reduce inflation? And matter of fact, it would cause inflation to either stagnate or continue. Oh, it sounds like the first thing that we just talked about here. Oh, okay. Well, so it doesn't actually do it. And by the way, it's not just my words. Joe Biden even said himself that we shouldn't have called it that because it actually doesn't do what it says it was going to do. That's almost verbatim, by the way. I'm actually impressed that I even remember that he said that. He says a lot of crazy ass things. It's tough to keep it all contained up here. Which included a waste emission charge provision. Although the waste emission charge was mandated by Congress, the Biden administration has had discretion on how to tightly clamp down on it. So the fee will start at $900 per metric ton of methane emitted over a specific performance level during 2024. Oh, lovely. And that's going to grow to $1,200. And then it goes to $1,500. You know what this reminds me of is that penalty that we were all given during the Obama administration when he put forth the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, and that they actually penalized you as a U.S. citizen and mandated that you had health care. And if you didn't have health care, that you'd get that penalty at the bottom of your tax form starting at $99. And it was an exponential function. meaning a certain amount of years, it'd actually be more expensive to pay the penalty than it would to actually just have health insurance.